What's up, graphic designers? Today we're going to take some inspiration from this poster that used to be at the New York Sports Club on 23rd Street, along with this image where we have a baseball player looking to maybe throw somebody out. And I know that all year long we've been talking about contrast, and here we have an action photo where someone is in full vibrant color, and the background is desaturated, meaning it's in black and white. And we've got another example of these older folks who look very happy pretending to play basketball. They're in color. The environment is not. Likewise with this volleyball player. So what we're going to do is we're going to reimagine this and create something of inspiration featuring labbies or celebrities or athletes of your choice. And here's an example of Wiley. We got a little bit of slogan. We've got some school spirit. And we started off here and resulted in this visual. You'll notice that there's about maybe a dozen different layers. So let's talk about how to produce this effect. And so the first thing that you're going to want to do is find an image where you're going to want to sort of highlight an individual so that they pop from the background. So this is a very busy, visually busy image, right? And so if we extracted AG and desaturated the background, he would be the hero of this piece. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to pause and we're going to extract Sahara. And to do that, here are the steps. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to press Command J twice. So I'm holding Command and press JJ. We've got 2 copies. Great. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use the object selection, and the new selection function is highlighted, and instead of the rectangular selection, I'm just using the lasso, and I'm probably going to have to clean this up a little bit. We'll see how good it does. All right, so it's not amazing, but you know what? All in all, it's not awful. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hide the bottom 2 layers, 1, 2, and they're hidden. And now I'm going to press the layer mask. Okay, beautiful. So this looks great, and it looks like we've got an individual who got pulled into this selection as well. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to reveal the layer beneath it, and I'm going to drop the opacity from 100 to, let's say, 20%. Or, yeah, let's say 20%. I'm going to press X to bring black to the foreground. I'm going to switch to the layer mask. I'm going to press B. I'm going to right click. I can notice that the hardness is at 100%. And we can very easily, yikes, we don't want to do this. I'm going to press X. There we go. Black is in the foreground. And here we go. We can see exactly where we want our selection. Now I'm going to press X again to bring white to the foreground. Right? We can flip flop. And we can go, we can brush as needed. And this looks kind of amazing. I'm going to zoom in just a tad. I'm going to press X again. In fact, I've got my index finger on the X key. That way I can switch back and forth between these 2 options. Okay, so great. So let's pretend that this is amazing. And I might, actually I'm just curious. Oops. I might want to think about, okay. And so that's actually that bottom layer. Yikes. All right, so I'm going to go like so. This looks amazing. And here is what I know. There's a few other elements that we need to introduce. I'm going to bring in this volleyball. And you know what, guys? If you wanted, check this out. I'm actually going to press X. I'm going to get rid of this. And then if you need to make selections, what you could do is you can use the elliptical marquee or the rectangular marquee or whatever selection you want, maybe the polygonal lasso. And I've got this nice selection. I'm going to press the letter G. Make sure the white's in the foreground layer. And I'm going to click. And wow, that was easy. That was super fast. And we're just about done. I'll just get rid of this right here. And you know what, actually, so I'm just brushing, and you certainly could, but if you wanted to be super precise, I'm using the polygonal lasso. And I know that you guys know how to do this. Okay. Make a quick selection, and then if we could just press the letter G, and it's all gone, minus a few other elements. Beautiful. Okay. So here is what I know. I'm going to press Command 0. And the bottom layer is completely invisible, right? Because I hit it. The second layer, the middle layer, is at 30%. If we bring it up, it looks the same. But if we hide it, we can see that we've got a great selection. I'm going to return it to now 100%. And this is critical. I'm going to zoom in just a tad, and I'm going to press Command-Shift-U to desaturate it. So there's no selection going on. And when I press Command-Shift-U, that desaturates everything. And so now we'll press Command-L. And what we're going to do is we're going to lighten the lights and we're going to darken the dark. So we're only adjusting these 3 dials right here. So this on the left side adjusts just the darks. And so I'm going to increase the darks just a tad. I'm going to lighten the lights. And then this modifies the midtones. And so you're going to think what looks good. And I'm going to press OK. And this looks awesome. This looks tremendous. I'm going to press Command-0. And so now today, we're going to actually talk a little bit about composition. We want Sahara to be the hero of this piece. So we're going to do some cropping. I know that if I press the letter C, I can pull up the crop function. If I click and drag and then press 0, that's actually not that bad. But I'm going to press Command-0. We're going to start. I'm going to press the letter C. And then if you click once, guys, you'll notice that there's this grid appears. What we're going to want to do is apply this concept called the rule of thirds. So what that means is like the big ideas or the most important elements of our composition, right, of whatever the visual that we're working on, we want to fall along one of these 4 intersections. Typically, it's going to be one of the top 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cropping by grabbing the left side, and I'm going to bring it down so this vertical line falls right along Sahara. And then I'm going to grab the top, and I'm going to bring it down because Sahara's face is the most important part of this design right here. And actually, I'm going to bring this up a tad, bring it down a smidge more, and this looks amazing. So I'm going to press check to confirm, and then I'm going to press Command-0 to fill the screen. And now this looks like a much stronger composition. Amazing. So what are we going to do now? Now we're simply going to save this as a JPEG. So what you're going to do is you're going to click Save a Copy. It's a JPEG. And so I'm going to save this Sahara Volleyball by Droz DSAT. And this is going to be a JPEG. And then we're also going to save this as a PSD. So I'm going to click File, Save As. And we're going to save this same file name, but as a Photoshop file. And I'm going to label it V1. All right. And we're going to actually be coming back to this in about 4 weeks. I promise you we're going to be coming back to the to what you create today. But we're not done, right? So once we've got something that looks a little bit like this is certainly reminiscent of the inspiration that we talked about at this beginning of the video. However, I think we can add some text. So maybe you're going to think about what words do you find inspiring. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool. I'm going to grab the red from her sweatshirt. And let's add inspiring. Why not? Okay. I'm going to press check to confirm. And we always want light on dark, dark on light. And so what I think I might do is I actually might make this white. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so I'm going to make this white. And then I'm going to add a layer style. So I'm going to click Effects. I'm going to click Stroke. And the stroke color I'm going to get from her sweatshirt. That looks kind of cool. I actually might make it a little bit more red. We're going to make sure the position is outside. And I'm absolutely feeling inspired. This is awesome. And we can think about if you want to have it concealed a little bit. And we can always click on Edit, Transform, and then skew it. And that's what I did with the original poster with Wiley. And so maybe we want to have it sitting like right along the baseline. Yeah, it's subtle, but I think it looks pretty incredible. So we can add Lab Love. We can add whatever other visuals you want. We're going to be creating multiple posters today because your work, ladies and gentlemen, will go down in history. Please put your name on it, put the date on it. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.